came out and played in the second half. I thought we were more physical. I thought we had better energy. We played faster on offense. Defense did a pretty good job all day, especially on third down, getting off the field so they couldn't sustain drives. And we had a lot of respect for their running back and their running game, and we did a pretty good job, except for a couple draws in long yardage situations of, stopping the run. So, look, this is a big game for us. It's a big game for a lot of our people. It's a traditional game that means a lot to a lot of folks that we have a tremendous amount of respect for. And I'm excited, pleased, and happy that we were able to win this game. And I'm really pleased with the way we played in the second half. Thought we were a little sluggish in the first half. I thought we were a little sluggish in practice this week, which kind of carried over, but really pleased with the way the guys responded in the second half. We got to play quite a few players, which is always good. Tua got a lot of valuable experience out there, and even had an opportunity to bounce back after, throwing an interception that they ran back for a touchdown, and we stuck with them so he could see that we had confidence in him, and he continued to play well. So he moved the team well and did a nice job. So all in all, I think this was a great team victory. Had a lot of guys contribute out there, even on special teams, even though we made another error on special teams today, which, could have given them a score. Great goal line stand, to keep them out of the end zone. So a lot of positive things. Going into the bye week, obviously it helps to get some of our guys that play a lot of players a little extra time to recover. We're certainly got lots of things that we can improve on. We'll look at all the opponents that we have, especially our SEC opponents, and see if there's things that we need to try to work on for them during this bye week, and get some more of our younger players hopefully improving to where they have a better chance to play winning football for us.
Start on the far side with Aaron.
In your view, how much has Jalen improved reading the middle of a defense and throwing the ball there, and how much does that help open up your offense?
Well, I think that to have balance on offense is really, really important. We didn't do a good job of first half of controlling the line of scrimmage. They were doing a lot of corner cats, a lot of star fires, loading the box all the time. So really they're almost forcing you to throw the ball. And we made some plays in the passing game, and Jalen did a nice job. So I thought, some of the play action passes that we threw in the second half were certainly instrumental in us sort of loosening them up a little bit.
Go back over to the left, Michael.
That final stop for them when they had a chance to score a touchdown on the goal line, how big was that? Just the atmosphere, everything seemed like it was a huge.
Oh, it was great. I think the fans really had a lot to do with it. Obviously, they contributed to the offside penalty when they had the ball on the inside the one, and gave us a chance when it was 3rd and 5 at the 5, and you got to pass the ball down there. It gets a little restricted. On the 4th down play, we did a great job of matching the pattern, and got some pressure on the quarterback. But it was exciting to see our players wanting to not let them score, and fans were into it. It was great. So, and I think that probably speaks a lot toward what this game means and what this rivalry is, because there was a lot of pride going on out there in the stands and on the field.
On the other side with Chandler.
You talked about Tua in your opening statement. How did you see him sort of handle the interception on the sideline? How was his demeanor? And then how did you see him play after that?
Played great. Played fine. He was fine. You probably don't know Tua very well, but he apologizes and says thank you and apologizes for everything, and he was apologizing for that. And, so, if you ask Tua how he's doing, he will say thanks for asking. So, sometimes I say that to him now. He says, how's it going, Coach? I said, good, man. Thanks for asking. So he's made me more polite. But he felt bad. Any player would. I think he got hit, like right as he was throwing the ball. I don't know if I couldn't tell. There's a lot of guys between us and the sidelines as to whether it was a good decision or not. But I think the most important thing is he went back in the game and he played well and he made plays. And even though he felt bad about what he didn't affect his confidence, and I don't think it affected the players' confidence in him.
We'll go up front with Mark.
Just what did you see out of Rashaan Evans? He seemed to be all over the field making plays.
Well, he played a good game today, and, he's getting healthier all the time, although he did get a little shoulder stinger, but he was able to come back from that. And we're able to utilize him in different ways on third down and put him in a position where he has a chance to make more plays now that he's gotten healthy. And since we lost some of the other guys that are our pass rushing type guys, the two outside backers in the first game and Deshaun Hand, it's really important that we have him out there healthy and making the kind of contribution that he's making, especially in pass rush. But he played a really good game today.
Down the middle here with Ben.
In the second quarter, on the second touchdown drive, you guys had 4 or 5 plays down on the goal line and then went for it on fourth down. Could you talk about the decision to go for it, what it meant to go up 14-0 there?
Well, look, man, when the ball's inside the 1-yard line, I don't know how long you've been around here, but I don't know if there's ever been a time where we didn't go for it. Maybe if we had to win the game, we wouldn't go for it, and one day we'll get stopped. But I think if you have a good defense, even if you don't make it, if you can keep them down there, you're going to get fairly good field position. So, chances of being able to get a field goal, which is what you're willing to settle for, are pretty good if you can stop them and keep them down there and get good field position coming out of it. So I just felt like from a momentum standpoint, it's always a good thing to try to score a touchdown.
The front here with Dwayne.
Coach, just your assessment of the guys through 8 games, obviously undefeated, had an impressive win today. And then secondly, just Ruggs, that's 5 catches, 5 touchdowns. How would you assess him as well?
Well, he made a big play today, but you got to give Tua a lot of credit on that. He bought time in the pocket, slid in the pocket, kept his eyes downfield. I mean, Ruggs really was lined up over here and ran a dig route and caught it on the other side of the field. So, the guy's a very explosive guy. He's got really good hands. I think he's getting more and more confident as he plays more and makes plays. So we need all 3 of those freshmen to continue to improve, and those are the kind of plays that we like to see them make to help them develop confidence. You asking my assessment of our team through 8 games, I think the toughest games that we have and the best teams that we have to play are ahead of us. And I think that we're certainly going to need to play better and with more consistency and continue to improve in several areas like the balance that we have on offense, being able to throw the ball effectively on a consistent basis. I think that defensively we're going to get challenged a lot more than what we have in the last couple games. Played against 2 relatively inexperienced quarterbacks who struggled a little bit, and I'm sure they'll both be really good players someday, but this is not an easy place for a guy that's starting his second game to come in and play with the noise and all that, and had the same thing last week. So I'm not real satisfied with, and I don't think anybody should be, in terms of where we are and what we've done. I think the most challenging games that we have are ahead of us.
2 more, Taryn and Alex.
How do you think the defense did against Tennessee's run game and also their ability to affect the quarterback?
Well, I said earlier that, they ran 2 draw plays in long yardage situations, one backed up before the half. We didn't execute the defense that we called very well, and the guy ran for about 20 yards, and another time he ran for about 12 yards on a draw on 3rd and 15. But other than those 2 plays, I thought we did a really good job against their running back and their run game, and I thought our players did a good job up front. So I was pleased with that part of it.
Finish up here with Alex.
Earlier this week, you mentioned bringing tension to Thursday's practice, and then you described the first half as sluggish. What was behind that sluggish start, in your opinion?
Behind the sluggish start.
Look, I talk about this all the time, and you all don't get it. But, it's not human nature to have people say that you're unanimous number 1, you're 36-point favorites. You read in the paper every day that you don't even need to play the game. All right, so why should we get excited about practice? Those external factors cannot affect your team, and sometimes it does. All right, and we had to have a little come to Jesus meeting about, all right, what is this all about? What is your commitment to? What goals do we have as a team? And what's more important, what we want to accomplish as a team for the guys in this room, or what somebody else thinks or writes or says, even if it's another player from another team? Wouldn't you be more motivated to have the respect for the people in the room that you play with every day who are your teammates? And shouldn't we try to be a good team because of those guys? And if we're going to accomplish the goals that we have, we need to look forward and be a team that is committed, everyone committed to each other, to be responsible to do their job at a high level and a high standard on a consistent basis. And I think I can't tell you why. If I knew why, I'd probably have a better job than what I got now. And I like the job I got now, and I think it's a really good job. All right, but if I could tell you why, you asked that question, hell, I wouldn't be up here. Right? I mean, so how do I know why we didn't practice good on Wednesday? I know one thing, we created tension over it, and attention got their attention.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.